we are so excited because AI is really the beginning of a new era, and
Yes.
you all are right at the epicenter of that. So what do you think is going to happen?
Absolutely, Joyce. Well, you and I have both been in this industry for a little while. We've seen the movement from PC to client server to internet to mobile to cloud. And we're still in the midst of cloud and that movement to cloud, the
Absolutely.
democratization of access to compute at scale. But this era of AI, it is fundamentally different. And what I'm seeing and experiencing is this connection between the technology and business outcomes like never before. The alignment across every industry and every function, the ability for technology to play a role to amplify human beings' output potential through the benefit and alignment with generative AI in particular. I know that your team's really taken the AI movement at storm. You built services, you built capabilities, your people have personally trained and developed themselves. From an insight perspective, how are you seeing this new era?
I think the amazing thing is, a couple of years ago, we started to talk about the promise of IoT.
Yes.
And it kind of, we moved it to edge computing, but it kind of fizzled. This one does not feel like it's going to fizzle
No,
at all.
no.
It is here to stay. It's because the outcomes are really, really well aligned with business results. So productivity, customer experience, reduction of risk, or whatever. I mean, we're seeing great use cases. We're seeing, crowdsourced initiatives internally at Insight where we're just solving problems we didn't know we could solve. And it comes down to something that I know you talk about, which is re-engineering business processes,
Yes.
thinking about them in a very different way,
Yes.
and making sure that we don't get stuck in our old habits and just try to automate the processes we have. That's the promise, I think, of Gen AI. But man, I think there's a lot of work to do to train our customers on how to use it and make sure that they start practicing and using those tools. I know everybody at Microsoft talks about becoming a chief prompt engineer.
Yeah.
And you do have to really learn how to ask the questions better to get a better result. And I think there's a lot of work to be done there.
I love that frame, Joyce. You and I both have pretty reasonable P&Ls. You're the CEO of a publicly listed organization. I have a
Yours is 6 times as big.
It's okay. I have a global organization at scale. But as a leader, there's always the challenge of change management. And in regard to what we're seeing in generative AI, it really is a case of a paradigm shift about thinking of the way work used to be to the way it will be.
Right.
I recently engaged with a senior leader, has a very large team in the tax and audit field. And she literally said to me, she goes, Kevin, I'm an early utilizer of something called Copilot. I use it every day. It's changed the way that I operate and I work. And I don't ever want to go back to the way things were before.
Yeah.
But to get there, though, requires a little bit of outside the box thinking in the sense of not just relying upon the way it's always been done, but being deliberate in that prompting of the system or allowing the system to be able to work in concert in a true co-pilot manner against the challenges that an individual has. Super, super cool.
Yeah, what I think that we are seeing is it's pretty easy to adopt Copilot and use it to summarize your emails.
Yeah.
Or pretty easy to get it to scan and summarize out somebody else's documents. But the demos that we have seen about how you integrate that with Excel or PowerPoint and you can actually eliminate creation steps is just amazing. And then Sora just came out last week, and holy moly, it blows your mind to try to think about what you can do with that and how you can replace sort of traditional environments like this with potentially AI generated environments. So anyway, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, one of the aspects that we're learning in terms of usability and adoption is, I actually thought, let's call it different generations in the workplace that we have in our operations. I thought those that are in the heavy mobile social stage of life, that they would be the fastest adopters. And what we're actually finding is it's those senior leaders, individuals who are used to asking the questions, understanding the business, understanding the organization, but used to asking the questions, who are the ones that are actually gravitating towards a system where they kind of know what they're interested in understanding, being able to engage with a system of record that has an almost unlimited access to the organization's data and thought, and be able to pull that up instantly and then ask the next layer and the next layer of questions. So this alignment, again, thinking, oh, it's just going to be the younger generation or the early in career generation,
Totally.
it's actually an impact at the most senior levels.
And in order to make that happen, we see lots of work that we need to do with our customers. They got to figure out, how to use large language models, which everyone's starting to do,
Yeah.
but then how to figure out how to create smaller models so that they can use their enterprise data in a smaller environment. And eventually, I learned this from Jensen Wang today, tiny models, which are sort of personalized models on your phone or something. I mean, it's just a way different way of thinking.